And we're live,
We're back.
I believe. We'll see. We're back.
Hello.
A couple of weeks off, but we are here. How you guys been?
Well, how are you?
Good.
Good. You had a shoot today, Jim?
I did. I shot for 7.5 hours today.
7.5 hours. What sort of shoot?
Commercial shoot. I was shooting for a council, local council. It was about an hour away from my house, so literally shot everything for them. Corporate stuff out on the back roads with their graders and grader drivers and stuff like that. It was very diverse.
Fun shoot.
Cool.
Yeah, it was pretty fun actually.
Yeah. Yes, very good. If you're just joining us, live viewers, ask us questions in the chat. Let's get this thing rolling. We are live episode 8 of the Camera Life podcast. I'm Justin, and this is Grant and Jim.
Hello.
Introduce yourselves, Grant and Jim.
Jim, you first.
G'day, I'm Jim, as we've already worked out. Is that what you wanted, or you wanted more?
A little more.
I'm a full-time photographer, mainly shooting weddings, but also do a fair bit of commercial work like today. Dabble in a bit of action sports stuff as well.
How long have you been a photographer, Jim?
Full-time photographer for 13 years, which is,
It's crazy.
That's a long time.
It's crazy. That is long.
Yes, very
Make you
crazy.
feel
How you started as a newspaper photographer?
I did photojournalist in
Photojournalist.
while I was still at uni, which was pretty fortunate.
Back when it was a career that was more possible. Seems pretty tricky now to be a full-time photojournalist unless you're in a big city.
You could do it in the country, but it's not as photojournalistic as it once would have been. It's definitely changed a lot over the years.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, hello, people. Hello, Melissa. Hello, Ryan. Melissa's question starting us off well.
Yeah.
Hey, guys. Hope you're all well. Question about gear. Is it worth the upgrade to mirrorless? Okay.
This is literally, so we've got a group chat between Justin, Grant and I, and we literally talk about this daily.
Yes.
Yes.
All day, every day.
This week, Grant's gone from buying more DSLR prime lenses to flip-flopping to I'm going all mirrorless. I made the switch 2 years ago now. So I originally shot Canon DSLR for a while, then switched to Nikon DSLR when they were sort of leading the sensor tech race, and they had great lenses, and Jim was also shooting Nikon, so it made sense for us to all be on the one system. Stayed with them for ages and then tried the Nikon mirrorless stuff and didn't really love it, and made the jump to Canon, a full Canon mirrorless kit, and it's a complete game changer. The hard thing to answer is is it worth the upgrade? How big of an upgrade is it? How much DSLR equipment do you have, and is it holding you back? I guess are the big questions. That's what we've been talking to Grant about.
And are you going to swap brands too? I think would also be another thing.
Yeah. I think this is the thing. Obviously the adapters work really well to use older DSLR lenses with whatever new system you're going to go for. They all of them seem to work great, but I started trying to use the adapted lenses and very quickly decided it's much better to just go the full native system, no need for adapters. Obviously that's a more expensive way to go, but the lenses the new lenses are optimized for the new sort of mirrorless flange size and stuff like that. They're smaller and much better in my opinion. So, if you were going to make the jump, I'd make, like Grant says, have a look at an entire new system potentially. If you were ever going to switch brands, that would be the time to do it. But it's a pretty big jump.
Maybe let's also find out, Melissa, if you're there, what are you shooting?
Exactly.
What are you shooting, and how often are you shooting is probably the question, because I think that would also have some pull on what you need to do.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
because if it's not much, you could pick up some secondhand gear and still shoot awesome stuff with DSLR.
Yeah. I mean, the quality, especially with what you guys are shooting with the D850s, they're still amazing image quality, amazing camera. But if you're dabbling in video, if you like having the sort of the EVF live view of what the exact exposure that you're about to shoot.
She's
they
bringing
really
back.
are. They really are a game changer. Currently shooting Canon 5D Mark III with a ton of lenses shooting full time. Wow. You will notice a huge difference going to Canon mirrorless just in the quality of the new sensors compared to the older. Like I had a 5D Mark III. If you've got a ton of lenses shooting full time, I'd probably jump straight to a 6D Mark II and use an adapter, and then slowly roll your lenses over when you can afford to. But yeah,
Also consolidate that kit. I've been thinking about that because I've got backups for my lenses. Still shooting DSLR, but I think when I eventually do move over, that I probably won't have so many like backups. I just there's lenses in my kit that I'd never use, so maybe try and consolidate some of that, and maybe don't need everything, which might make it a little bit easier to change over.
Yeah, exactly. I was able to downsize my Nikon kit massively when going to Canon because of the lenses like the RF 28 to 70 f2. That got rid of multiple primes that I used to shoot with. Being able to use the 70 to 200 2.8 all the time instead of never wanting to get the big heavy one out of the bag. Absolute game changers. So highly recommend. Also, just so everyone knows, the competition we're running for anyone that asks a question that gets featured, I'm literally writing people's names down and putting them in this little thing, and we'll draw them out in about half an hour.
We're super high tech here.
Super high tech competition. Ryan, hello.
I also
big
think
fan.
like the
Big fan
problem
of you,
I'm
Ryan.
having is also what
yes.
Paul's just saying. How he's got on here missing the third-party lenses. That's why I keep swapping with the idea of Canon and Sony, because Sony has so many lens options and they're a lot cheaper. But Canon just seems like a better option.
Hold the phone one moment. And yes, Paul. Sorry, I was just going to say, Ryan was just saying he loves his Nikon Z7 II. Can't go back from eye autofocus. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
When I use that R3,
autofocus.
wow,
so cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm still not used to it, but when I've used like Justin's cameras,
I don't think it would take long.
No, I'm still very old school though, so we'll see.
So let me just share my screen, because missing the third-party lenses. Sorry, just taking a second. So this has just happened. I don't know how accurate it is yet, but they're basic. Like Mikey have launched an 85 1.4 autofocus lens for RF mount. There was a couple of autofocus lenses earlier on for the system, which Canon sort of basically put a stop to, which put the big flag out there that there will be no third-party lenses in the near future that are sort of officially work with Canon cameras. But this has just been announced at the NAB show, which is like on at the moment, and they're saying it's approved, but no one really knows much yet. So this could be a shift coming. So maybe Canon was working with a licensing sort of program or whatever for third-party lenses, but they just hadn't nailed it down yet, and the other brands went around that, and so they shut them down kind of legally. But there might still be plans for, Tamron and Sigma and stuff to be able to start producing lenses like that 35 to 150 f2 to 2.8 that I want. Cool. Thanks, Melissa.
Yeah. Thanks
Yes.
for jumping on.
Now for the
awesome
convincing. Look, get him to watch the show. We'll do some convincing. Get him on here.
Yeah.
Oh, is that? Hang on, Mike? Is it pronounced Mike? Why did I think it was Mikey? I don't know.
Oh, the K is a K, not a IK.
Oh well, I learn something new every day. What else have we got here? Morningside. Are there any advantages to a full frame system now that we have systems like the Fuji X-T4 with 40 megapixels? I ask as an amateur on an amateur's budget. That's something else that I've been digging into the Fuji stuff a heap lately. We've got a little system that we have in the office, a Canon RP, some Canon lenses, and I was thinking that Fuji might suit really well. And then I get tempted for sports stuff with that new the H2S sports Fuji camera, which looks insane.
Look, you meant XT5,
yeah. And the XT5 is even better than the XT4.
Yeah.
Like that, that thing's crazy. So I haven't tested it, and I'd really like to try. The hard thing is you're with crop. Basically, as far as depth of field goes, you essentially lose a stop. So if you're shooting with a 2.8 lens, it looks like an f4 lens on a full frame. And you also lose about the same in high ISO performance, about a stop. So essentially, I could shoot with all f4 lenses on my full frame Canon gear and get a similar result, theoretically, to a Fuji system shooting all 2.8s. Same goes with primes and things in the same sequence. So it's like, they're cheaper to get, a Fuji with a 2.8 lens. It is cheaper when you're looking at comparing to 2.8 lenses with a Sony system or a Canon full frame system or something like that. But you need to compare it more so to f4 lenses, because that's the performance you're going to get. And once you look at it like that, sometimes the difference isn't that big budget wise. Now, the benefits that Fuji does have is like amazing colors and JPEGs. There are benefits to crop when you're talking about landscape photos. You actually get more depth of field for the amount of light that's coming in. So it's like sometimes you want more depth of field at 2.8, but you're still getting a lot of light in. So there's pros and cons. Same with, shooting wildlife, you're getting that extra reach. They've got some really cool lenses, some really small lenses. I don't know. It's a tough one, but they interest me a lot. I'd really like to buy a heap of Fujifilm gear and use it.
I think as well, you want to, like, what are you shooting as well is probably...
Yeah.
Like, what's the goal? Like, if you are shooting landscapes, then maybe that
40 megapixels
having that
would be good.
And is lightweight important to you? Or is it purely? And same with try and get into a camera store and use one, because it is a different experience, particularly the XT series, using the dials, the exposure control dials, as opposed to like the jog wheels and stuff. So you can get a Fuji with more sort of a more analog feel about it, or you can get a Fuji that feels more like more modern mirrorless cameras. So there are sort of options for both. And then there's I was actually emailing someone today about the X Pro 3s, which have the optical viewfinder and stuff, which is a whole different, same as the X100s, whole different feel, and really sort of more rangefindery style camera. And shooting with that XT100, I've got the original one, which I was playing around with again the other day, and it is super
cool
fun.
Camera, that one.
It's still a cool camera.
Yeah, I've used that. Like,
let me just bring up another one and write some names to put in this hat. Ryan, I've been reading a lot about creativity recently. What inspires you guys? You first, Jim.
Oh, me now. I answered the other questions.
I knew you'd be like, because you'd be like, client, like client outcome.
Yeah.
What inspired you on the shoot today?
Not a heat today. I did actually do some shooting for myself on the weekend though, which was the first time in a long time. I'm a massive motorbike fan, and I shot some motorbikes, which was really cool, and connected with some industry people, which was nice. So that was inspiring for me to try and push and get some more work that is more aligned with my like core hobbies and that sort of thing. So that's sort of where I'm
less of a job.
Yeah, it's still work, and I can see if you were covering the event properly, that it would be a massive job. But I definitely be excited to do something like that.
Grant, what inspires you?
I don't know. You guys.
Thanks.
Depends what I'm doing though. Like, obviously I've got a few weddings coming up, and I haven't really shot too many, so I would obviously jump on your Instas or other local Bendigo wedding photographers. But for my other stuff, I think it's
What about
yeah.
landscapes and stuff like that? Like if you're going to go on a trip
I would
specifically to take a photo.
Yeah. I think it's just how you're feeling at the time, and obviously research all the locations.
Mm-hmm.
And you always don't want to get the same photo as everyone else. So I think that's probably where I try to get some like creativity going, just just finding something else different that no one else has at that same location, because they get shot so often now.
Yeah, it's actually I was recently in Tassie, mainly for a holiday, but shot 2 mountain bike events down there, and I shoot a lot of mountain biking, but they were the first mountain bike races I'd ever shot. Most of my work is like for tourism or reviews and that kind of thing. So this was the first. It was just a race, and I had to cover it with sort of more of a lifestyle feel, and that was my for the whole thing. I was like, I'm just going to be where everyone else isn't, because there was
hundreds of cameras.
No, there wasn't hundreds, but there was 20 or 30 pro photographers there, all over the place, and they were grouped. There was clumps of them. We've got photos of 6 or 7 guys like crowded around the one tree to get a specific angle, and I'm like, wherever they are is not where I'm going to be. And it's risky, because maybe they're getting this banger shot that I'm not, but I know I'm getting something different. And it actually always ended up, I was always working with the light, whereas they seem to be working with trail features. Even if the light was straight on directly, they were only worried about trail features, whereas I was only worried about light or the crowd. I wanted as much of the crowd in the shots as possible. So
it shows more of the feel.
So I definitely agree in terms of trying to do something different. It is inspiring.
And landscape, you're trying to do sunrise, sunset, and you go to a spot and you see 2 or 3 or even 10 other photographers at that one spot, and they're all next to each other getting the same photo. What's the point?
I think that some of those, what you just said, Justin, as well, like goes back to our rules of like what we do in wedding photography, and that's like there's locations and shots that's where it has to be, but what the most important thing is light, and then working the best location, background, and everything else around the light. The light is number one.
Yeah.
Always.
Well, after the subject having an awesome time.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
I know.
No, but for the photo.
For the photo side of it. Yeah. I hang on, just to jump back. I agree, Paul. It is an odd choice if this is the first official autofocus third-party lens. It's an odd choice that it's not Sigma or Tamron. Really. So, strange. Cool. Lee's lens. Hey guys, have any of you tried the new Tamron Nikon Z mount lens? Well, which one?
Well, no, because I'm still trying to get my hands on some Pro Z mount gear.
You've been trying to get a test of the Z9. Before I switched to Canon, I had the 6, the first version, the Z6. And I had a few Z mount lenses, but I didn't get any third party ones. They were pretty new then, and I sort of stuck with the Nikon stuff. So I don't know which one you mean. If they are doing the 35 to 150 f2 to 2.8, that lens is very exciting.
One and done. That's it.
Yeah, you could definitely get away with just 2 lenses.
Or that and like a 20 or something.
Yeah. So which lens would be my question? But chances are, unfortunately, we probably haven't. But there's a good chance I've watched all the reviews on it, whichever one it is, because I don't know, I'm weird like that. Morningside, I've gone Fuji because the size and weight and the analog feel of the camera, but I shoot mainly portraits and street rather than landscapes. Oh, my kit now needs a nice strap. Well, maybe you will get one tonight for free. Well, it sounds like you are definitely on the right system then. If you're shooting mainly portraits and street, like those Fuji f1.2 primes, if you've got the 56, you're probably having the best time ever. The 56 1.2, I think it is. But yeah, I think there's there's no downside in terms of, full frame offers a slightly better image quality in low light.
But do you need that in street? Like, a bit of
Probably
grain,
not.
bit of
Same with
noise
same with portraits. You're not shooting sports, and you're not shooting indoor sports or low light sports, which is where you need that really good high ISO performance at high shutter speeds, and I think you're on the right system. And there is definitely, I mean, there's thousands, like pro surf photographer Russ Lord, he uses Fujifilm for professional water shots that are insane.
and he is
so it's
badass.
Yeah, exactly. And plenty of wedding photographers, sports photographers that are using that system. So I certainly wouldn't let it hold you back in terms of wondering about crop sensor and that kind of stuff. I definitely want to try. Let me put another entry in while one of you guys reads out this question.
All right. Thanks, Grant. Here's my question from Claire. Maybe for the next session. What's your post-production workflow? Selecting, editing, naming, sorting, sending to clients. What do you save? What do you trash?
Good question. Go, Jim.
So everything I do, I ingest through Lightroom direct to my laptop. And then I've got a copy there. I make multiple copies. At the moment, I'm making 4 for every session. 3 on-site, 1 off-site. And then for culling, I'm culling in Lightroom because I just bought like a spec'd out Mac that is fast enough to do so. So that's been a big help for me that I'm not using multiple programs. Editing again in Lightroom, and then like naming just on export.
Yeah, we don't. I've never renamed. Actually, in the early days, I did. I don't rename RAWs going in to Lightroom. I only rename exports coming out of Lightroom. But I have thought about changing that. You get a lot of duplicate names and stuff. But everything's in folders, so it seems to never be an issue. But I have considered introducing a renaming on import structure, but it hasn't been an issue for us in. Literally millions of, I don't know, how many photos do you reckon we've imported from weddings?
I don't even want to know. Yeah, it would be a lot.
It's sad, but millions.
Yeah. Our raid would have a crazy amount of photos on it.
Yeah. So, well, actually, that's a good one. Like, what do we keep? Everything.
Cool.
For how long?
So we cull the wedding, deliver the files. So on the day we shot 5,000, cull that down to say 800. The customer will get those. We'll keep everything for 6 months, like even the ones we culled out, in case, which has happened occasionally. Someone's got back in touch and said, that there's been a relative that's passed away or something. We might go back through and be like, oh, there was actually 2 extra photos. They might not have been much different to other ones, but maybe just having a couple extra frames of them would be important. After 6 months, we'll delete everything else that we didn't deliver. I keep the RAWs, and then after 2 years, we delete the RAWs of the ones we delivered, but we still keep the JPEGs of everything, which we've been doing since the start. So it's a bit of a headache doing the back end stuff. All of our files are, like our folders are numbered in the American date system, so year, month, then day, which is really annoying, except for when you actually want to find something. No, it's annoying because it's not the way we were brought up. It's not how we learned to do things when we were younger. But to actually find stuff, sorting, it's amazing. So
we also, I mean, and I've changed it now. Jim hasn't, but we also do separate Lightroom catalogs for every major shoot. So every wedding, every major shoot has its own Lightroom catalog. I've changed a few years ago. Lightroom sort of did some major updates, got a lot faster. had less of those problems, and I was shooting a lot less weddings. So I went back to using just one Lightroom catalog, and it's been absolutely fine, super fast. The speed improvements are much better, although my new laptop is a beast. But the only issue is I'm keeping a lot of previews in the Lightroom Smart Previews to have sort of a backup. It's something I've been testing out because they're essentially a mini backup photo, but it's getting pretty big. I think it's at like 400 gig or something like that. This one catalog's preview. So yeah, there's pros and cons to the single catalog thing. If you're not going to keep smart previews of everything, then it won't get that big and it's not a big deal. But yeah, interesting.
Hopefully that help. If there's anything else that we've missed or brushed over, jump in again, because we like talking about sort of stuff.
Let's jump around.
But make sure you're backing up. We back up to at least 3 spots.
Yeah.
What's
And
the minimum?
3.
3.
Two on site, 1 off site. So I keep 1 in my car all the time, and then at the moment I run 3 are working and 2 backups. So on site.
As for file delivery, everything I do now is digital. Everything's like Dropbox or whatever. Jim mainly does the weddings, but weddings are still all USB. Something physical still feels right for us, for what the client's investing in those photos. And they get a nice package with some prints and some things as well that just feels a substantial delivery rather than just sending them a link to a gallery to download or whatever. But yeah, do not underestimate the fact that clients will contact you years later saying they've lost their USB and they never backed up their photos. So while we have it in our contract to say that we're not an archive service and we don't guarantee backups for any period of time, we're doing our best to make sure that we keep them as long as we can.
Yeah.
And when they do come back to you years later and they're sort of worried that you may not have them, it's a really cool feeling to say, yeah, we got them, no stress.
Yeah. And like knowing that you've got them.
Yeah.
And like we've got them once, we've got them in 3 spots all the time.
Ryan says year, month, day is the only way. I like that. You definitely get another entry for that one.
Oh, double entries.
Double entry. You can get double entries.
Feel like a giveaway service, Justin.
I've been writing names down like crazy.
I'll jump back up to Paul.
Oh, hang on. Well, I want to go. We'll do it. We'll get there. We'll get there. I want to do a new one. What do you got? J Shani? J.S. Hanny?
Jashani?
I don't know. Either way. Every system has its advantages and disadvantages, and the first question should probably be, what am I willing to carry? Good point. Size and weight flow from that, which leads to lens sizes, etc. I completely agree. But also, you can always get stronger. No, I'm just kidding. But so, yeah, it should definitely be a factor, especially if anything that you do, whether it's shooting weddings all day, hiking to landscape spots, or anything that flying, like absolutely, like if you were flying for all of your shoots, it would be a major consideration. So yeah, definitely a very good point.
I think as like with that as well, we used to carry like 70-200 2.8s, 24-70 2.8, and then like a 16-35 or like the Canon equivalent, Just and I, when we first started. And I can guarantee neither of us would carry that now. We would absolutely not shoot with any of those all day.
Look,
that's what I'm doing.
I wouldn't, because there's options. But when we were shooting with those, we didn't do any exercise, and now we do.
True. Yeah,
and I think we would handle it a lot better. But we still did it. I would need to carry that weight. I would need to see a significant benefit that you can't get from lighter weight lenses. That's the point. Yeah. And now with it's just that RF 70-200 2.8 is so light. It's crazy.
I've been doing bicep curls with my 70-200.
That's why they're so big. Back to Paul Henderson. Sorry, bad typing. We'll skip that other one. Finding time to shoot is an issue. How do you guys find new locations for your shooting that are different? Well, for street stuff, I mean, I only ever shoot what you would even consider close to street style photography when I travel. So that's for that style of photography, it's usually not an issue because it's so easy if you're overseas in Tokyo, it's like you want to just walk around
everywhere
and explore. And so I guess that would be my tip isn't travel to Tokyo. My tip is walk. And I actually saw a really cool quote the other day that I can't remember where I saw it, and I'm probably going to get it wrong, so I'm sorry. But it was something along the lines of, if you truly want to be a great photographer, you'll use a bicycle and not a plane, which is basically like if you travel around on a bicycle rather than a plane, you're going to see so much more stuff close up and explore places that you would never have seen that other people may not come across. Whereas if you jet to, the tourist hotspots, you're probably not going to uncover something special. So my tip would be walk, ride. So maybe don't worry too much about finding spots. Just find the time and then just go somewhere you've never been before that's within the time period that you've got. If you've only got half an hour, go for a walk, 15 minutes in a direction that you don't normally walk to see what you find.
Yeah, be a tourist and you're in town.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that, like, as well, there is a lot of beauty in places that you would potentially be overlooked. If you just have to shoot somewhere, you'll make it work. There's always something there.
Yeah, because when I was living in Bright, everyone comes to Bright, awesome coloured trees in autumn. Walk around Bendigo at the moment. Have you noticed how many trees there are?
Yeah,
that are changing colours? Ever since I've come back, I'm like, whoa, I've never noticed this.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Just a follow-up from Morningside. Just for reference for those reading, Justin mentioned the Fuji 56 1.4, but I actually prefer the Sigma 56 1.4. I didn't even know they had one for Fuji mount, X mount. It's become my preferred lens for portrait and candid street. Very cool. Very cool. Knowing Sigma, it's probably cheaper than the Fuji too, which is always nice. And sharp as a tack. All right. I don't know if Paul has mistyped, but pretty excites about the dentist in Lightroom. Haven't tried it yet, but from what I've read, it sounds good. Dentist.
There's a new teeth feature.
Well, I don't. He could be making a joke but seriously, the masking is crazy.
Yeah, it's getting
now.
insane.
It's. I'll show you guys something in a minute. Actually, that I tried to make a YouTube video in the rain the other night. It didn't work, but I was playing with a rain photo, and the masking is silly.
Denoise.
Denoise.
There we go.
Oh yeah. Okay. I haven't tried it either. I honestly don't have that. I mean, I am shooting with the R3, which is amazing in high ISO. But I've like a lot of the stuff that I did in Tasmania for mountain biking during the race, because the shutter speeds have to be so high, and it's in like a rainforest style canopy. It's so dark and green, and I like to shoot backlit a lot, which means even higher ISOs because the sun's behind the rider, so you got to boost everything up a bit. I was shooting at 3200, 6400 all the time. I don't add any noise reduction ever.
It's just like that ad I sent.
Yeah, you're not doing any noise reduction. No. Yeah, I'm still doing our standard, what we used to do for
sort of 20 or something. Yeah. Just
some luminance noise reduction.
Yeah, which we would usually do anything over like 3200, or if it was like pushed hard, 1600 or whatever. But thing is, I guess with a wedding, you're talking about like skin and things like that. It can get
that's the main reason you're doing
and it looks a bit of noise reduction on skin, can look nice. But on sort of action sports, I want to retain as much detail as possible, and I find the grain sort of pleasing, so it doesn't matter. All right, Adam
Scariotto.
Yes,
Welcome, Adam.
Famous photographer. For a total amateur person, what would be a medium quality point and shoot? All right, I'll throw this one over to Jim and Grant because I know they probably have no idea.
Yeah, I have genuinely no idea.
I have no idea. Okay.
Nah.
Medium quality, I guess, comes down to price, which is tough because it's like
What's your budget, Adam?
Yeah, well, he said followed by a good quality point and shoot price. Look, it gets tough because it depends what you want as a point and shoot. Some people want a zoom lens that you can travel with. Some people want compact. Some people don't care if it's compact, but they just want it to be an easy all-in-one point and shoot camera. There's options for all of those. I would basically say it's probably not worth buying if it's under $500. And if it's over $1,500, unless it's the Fujifilm X100V, if it's over $1,500, you probably should be, or a Leica Q2 or something. Anyway, you should probably be looking into, I wouldn't call them a point and shoot, be looking into a interchangeable lens system or something like that. So it's really like, you know, Sony's RX100 series, super small. They haven't updated in a few years and it's super expensive. It's over $1,500. Canon's got the G5X and the G7X, whatever series 2 or 3 that either of those are up to. Both awesome cameras. They'll all either be 1-inch sensors, which are quite good, or you might, you know, be able to step into something with a crop sensor, but they'll be significantly more expensive if it's like the Fuji X100. Or I've actually been looking at if I wanted a high quality point and shoot that didn't zoom, I think at the moment it would be the Ricoh GR3. I wouldn't get the X, but Adam probably could. The non-X is a 20mm equivalent lens, and the X is a 40mm equivalent lens. Both 2.8s, crop sensor, all in one. They're tiny. Do you guys know what they
Absolutely not.
Oh. Allow me to show you.
Where
you could just invest in a new iPhone.
I don't know, but I do. I keep thinking I really should probably start a YouTube channel, and you know,
another one.
Yeah, well, for gear reviews, I'll probably do it on this channel, but I should probably get off my ass and make gear reviews. Where are we going to look at them?
What has Justin brought this week?
Maybe that's what
the channel should be.
Yeah.
Sorry, just while my internet. Wait, so look, Adam, I don't know if that answered your question, but I'm gonna.
When I lived in Scotland, my boss brought a Nikon. I'm gonna say it was like a P950.
Yeah, so I think because they're up to the P1000 or something now. They're the ones. Is that what you're talking? The all-in-one super zoom.
Yeah, it zooms in like 80 times.
It's crazy.
It's all
crazy.
Optical. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that is what you would get if you just wanted. If you don't mind if it doesn't need to be pocket sized, but you just want to be able to take like photos on holiday, family photos, all that stuff, and you want to be able to zoom in on the moon, or like a tiny bird or something. Yeah, those I think they're up to the 1000s or 1000 or something like that now. And people that buy them just love them because they show photographers and they're like, you know, I think it's a 600 or 700mm equivalent zoom. Yeah. So like no photographer has that unless they're shooting.
Hold that and just keep it. Like,
just
you know, like,
all over the place. So the GR3 is it's small. It's hard to see on this.
Yeah, no,
it looks like a Sony.
But like it's small enough that it fits in your pocket. It's a retractable lens, but is a fixed. So 24 megapixel fixed lens, 28mm equivalent, which is my favorite focal length for that kind of walk around stuff. 2.8, so you're not going to get like bokeh and stuff really, but it's a quick point and shoot street lens. Street photographers love it.
That'd be good.
Yeah, there is a 40mm equivalent. So yeah, unfortunately, the thing that holds me back from it, I wish the video is pretty average. And if it had good video, it would be a really cool sort of travel camera.
Well, there you go, Adam. Buy that.
Tell us how it goes.
Jim might be able to help with this one. I know a bit too. Melissa, what are the laws in Australia in regards to shooting in a public place, especially street photography?
Yeah. Essentially, you can photograph anywhere in a public place and photographed anybody if they're in public.
Sorry, Melissa Bernard. I think I said Bernard. Sorry. Go on, Jim.
Yeah. You can photograph anyone in a public place. They might be upset with you, but
I believe the law is in a public place. There's no reasonable expectation of privacy.
Yes.
I believe that's the sort of the thing that allows people to photograph you on the street. Now, that being said, do you really want to take a photo of someone that doesn't want it? You know, if someone approached me after I took a photo and said, "Hey, what are you doing? Delete that," or something, I would just delete it. You know, like I don't want someone to be upset. But legally, you have a right to do it. You know, yeah.
Whether if you're uploading to Getty, though,
I was going to say whether or not you can do something commercial with it without the model's permission. It's not photojournalism, not news. I don't know. That's where it gets a little bit trickier.
I think you got to have they've got to sign a rights thing.
Yeah,
if you're
model release.
like doing it to Getty. Yeah.
Yeah, if they're identifiable in the photo.
Yeah.
But what about if it's like a news story?
It's different. News is completely different. News, you can take photos of anybody. Yeah, for some reason. But yeah, if you are doing something commercial like fine art, prints, that kind of stuff, or stock photography, you need a model release.
Yeah, okay.
So, look, just to be clear, we're not lawyers nor experts on any of this stuff. That's just what we've learned over the years. But yes, certainly if it's something you want to know more about, I would hit up first Google, and then second maybe someone educated in the space. I'd love to have someone on that could maybe tell us exactly what the deal is. But yeah, as far as I know, free to take photos wherever you want of whoever you want in a public place, but you may not be able to actually do anything with them if the person is identifiable, anything commercially, if the person's identifiable.
We missed Melissa's first question too, which was, I think, a pretty good one.
Where was that?
Up here.
Oh, how often do you clean your gear? And do you clean it yourself or send it off to be cleaned? Not often, and both.
Yeah, not often enough. Thankfully I shoot fairly wide open, so any dirt and stuff isn't actually noticeable on in my shots, unless I stop down.
I was going to say, when you stop down, you realize how dirty your camera sensor is.
Yeah. But I'm trying to be every 6 months getting my sensors cleaned and my lenses cleaned. My main 3 lenses that I use. So,
If okay, so if you're not quite following what we're saying, if you haven't seen noisy sensor spots, or maybe you've seen them but you didn't realize what they are, if you are shooting at a generally a wider angle lens, anything that gives you a large depth of field, so usually a wider angle lens at a higher aperture. So if you're shooting like a 16mm at f8, or even it could be a longer focal length, but if at a high, f16 or something like that, and then you bring it into Lightroom and you see these dots, and the dots, or these little squiggles, are in the same position on every single photo, that's dust on your sensor. It can even be worse. You can actually get oil on your sensor and stuff like that. It can be way worse. Now, sending it to Canon or Nikon or whoever to be cleaned, or Camera Clinic in Melbourne or wherever you live, there'll be someone that does it, is a great idea, and they'll do an awesome job, and it's safe. There's liquid dust cleaning kits and stuff, sensor cleaning swabs and that. I've never done it, not a fan, but I'll show you a tip right now on how I clean my sensor, and it pretty much has always worked. You guys fill some time in.
So for people in Victoria, it's not called Camera Clinic anymore. It's called Imaging by Design, but same place, same building, same awesome people.
How much per camera?
I'm an NPS member, so my bodies are actually cleaned for free, and Nikon cover that, but my lenses I pay for myself, and I'm pretty sure they're $33 per lens, which...
That's pretty good.
Yeah, so for me to get my 3 done, it's $100.
Yeah.
I just drive them down. There's some awesome food around the camera shop in Melbourne. I'm sure I could get it done in lots of other places, but that's just where I've been going. It's good
Have
that the staff
you-
are amazing and super helpful. Like, because I am out from out of town, they're like, "Yep, bring them in. We'll make sure they get them done promptly for me so that I can get back on the road."
Have you cleaned the D780 since you want to sell it?
It is cleaned, ready to go. Actually, I only pulled it out of the bag after it got serviced 6 months ago, just to take some photos to try and sell it.
Yeah, nice.
All right, quickly. So, first of all, most cameras have, this probably won't focus, but let's see if it does. Oh, yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
Most cameras have a sensor cleaning option in the menu, most high-end cameras anyway. And it can work. So, first thing, you'll probably notice a lot of cameras will do it automatically on startup or shutdown or whatever. You can set that up. There is a manual cleaning option or a clean now option on a lot of cameras, and some of them even have like a clean more aggressively option. But there is also the ability on either DSLRs or mirrorless, if you can expose the sensor on mirrorless, you'll need to, hang on, see that's my sensor. You can see reflecting there. So if I touch that, that would not be good. If that was a DSLR, you would see a mirror there covering the sensor, but you can lock that mirror up for cleaning in the menu of your camera, and then you'll literally be able to see the sensor of your camera like that. Now, the best way that I've found to get dust out of it is get a nice rocket blower thingy that blows air out, and in a nice clean indoor environment, hold your camera so that it is open, pointing down to the ground, and then get the thing in nice and close, but do not touch the sensor with the blower, but get nice and close and blow in there all around the sensor like that. And that usually does the trick for a few dust spots or something like that. If it's more stubborn than that, I'll send it somewhere.
Yeah.
Is it bad that I don't have a rocket blower?
Terrible. You're not even a photographer.
Aren't I though?
No.
You can borrow mine if you want, Jim.
How do you clean your sensor?
I don't.
You go for a little Melbourne morning and have a latte, and you don't drink coffee.
Don't
But
drink
yeah,
coffee.
take it down to
Little
Nikon
hot
and
chocky.
Yeah, okay. I need to get a rocket blower.
highly recommend a rocket blower for everybody. All right, let's keep on trucking, because people probably need to draw out this. This is the last chance to ask a question to potentially win a $200 Lucky Straps voucher. Let's get through a couple more questions. First,
good questions
let's get some praise from Andrew.
Yeah,
Kenzie.
thanks, Andrew.
Thanks for the podcast. Great concept. Love it.
Thanks, Andrew.
It is literally nothing without you guys in the live chat. So thank you. More questions, please.
It's been lots of questions, which has been amazing.
Flynn Schilling, as a young person who's recently getting into photography and videography, how similar are they? And are the skills learned from photography applicable to film?
Like some yes, some no. Some carry over, and some don't. There's lots of in videography. Justin will know more, but there's lots of things to do with shutter speeds and stuff like that, matching your frame rate. Whereas photography, that's obviously less critical, but obviously your shutter speed is still critical depending on what you're shooting. But you like framing and that sort of thing is probably similar. Your depth of field, that kind of stuff would definitely be similar. But you've got probably more of a crossover, Justin, of doing both.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I do. So most of my shoots now, I'm shooting both at once. But I only really learned... two at once. No, what they call hybrid, which is why I've got the Canon R3. It's I think, probably the best hybrid stills and video camera available. Switch from one to the other seamlessly, and they're both high performance, somewhat high performance. With video guys that would say the R3 isn't professional, but for the level that I'm doing, it's certainly great. So I learned photography first, but I actually had a background in sound engineering. Sound is obviously one thing that's completely left out of photography, but that required for video. So that's something you'll have to learn separately and I would encourage you to learn it as soon as possible if you're trying to get into video. The sooner you can have nice sound, the quicker your videos will seem a lot more professional. The composition, lighting, all of that sort of stuff, other than the fact that you would need to use continuous lights with video and you can use flash with photography, lighting techniques, all of that stuff crosses over and is great, and exposure and that sort of thing. The only little quirky differences are, like Jim said, you're working with specific shutter speeds for video that flow well with motion blur and things, whereas photography, you're choosing shutter speed for either exposure or creative expression. That stuff's a bit different, but it crosses over a heap. I would, if I could have my time again, and especially these days with how much video content is being consumed, learn video as early as you can, even if it's just dabbling with it. Use iMovie. You don't need anything fancy, or DaVinci Resolve, which is a super professional production program, is free for the basic version, and it's good enough to do anything you would want to do in the early days. So get a copy of that. Whatever camera you've got, it probably shoots video. Just use that and just start making a few and playing around with it. Because I wish I'd learned earlier. It's taken me, how long have I been sort of dabbling with video? 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, it's been a while when you think about it.
It has been a little while, but I felt like an absolute beginner. The amount of times I've been trying to figure out, still can't figure out exactly the benefits of S-Log, of C-Log and stuff versus bit baked in. Anyway, I'm going to try and do something with that, make a video. But I understand the concepts, but still. I'm now at the level where I'm comfortably able to do like tourism productions and things where it's mostly what I'd call run and gun style video. So it's not a high level commercial production. I'm not doing that kind of stuff, but I can make a video. Yeah. It's like I'm shooting action, and some stuff's vlog style, some of it's interview style, but it's pretty simple techniques. And it took a few years for me to kind of cross over, but I'm getting paid work in that now. And I wish I had done it earlier. So go for it. Andrew McKenzie, if someone is interested in wildlife and landscape, what brand would you recommend? Oh man.
How long do we have to deep dive?
Yeah, I don't know. We've got to draw this. We've got to draw this prize, and I don't know if I we can talk about
if it's wildlife, you definitely got to go mirrorless.
Yeah.
Why?
So, Jay Shoney has also replied to Andrew.
Oh yeah, because the crop factor, absolutely, it does, and same with so Olympus is micro four thirds, but the disadvantages for wildlife is if you're shooting in low light with micro four thirds, you're gonna shooting at high ISOs and things. Fujifilm's going to be similar. Crop Canon stuff, crop Nikon stuff. Like the crop Canon gear is looking pretty sweet as well. The R7 might be an amazing camera for wildlife. Honestly, I don't know if you can just throw brand.
No, it's what's going to be the most accessible camera to you with like lenses, like your budget. What do you like the feel of? Like what feels nice for you? I think who was saying? I think it was Morningside before that was talking about like the feel of the camera. Like you want something that you want to shoot with that makes you want to be a better photographer, want to shoot more. So I think that's also important, that something that's comfortable for you, because there's no one size fits all with cameras. And what's better for you isn't going to be what's better for me necessarily.
But definitely in terms of wildlife and landscape, it's correct in saying that build quality and lightweight. If you are going to be out in the elements, like weather sealing might be a nice thing. Otherwise, you got to deal with rain covers and that sort of stuff. And lightweight for hiking if you're going to be doing it that style. But it also ultimately comes down to budget. It's like, what can you afford? Because if you can afford it, get any brand, but just buy the best stuff they've got for wildlife, and you'll be stoked. Doesn't matter if it's Sony, Canon, Nikon, Olympus. If you buy their top range telephoto lenses, like the Canon.
They're all amazing.
The Canon RF 100 to 500, like for the weight, that, you know, that is what I'd be looking at. For Sony, I think Tamron's got a really nice super zoom. Yeah, so many options. It's a really hard one to answer. But yeah, without more context and probably budget. I mean, and the other thing is too, like if you're looking for that point and shoot style thing, yeah, that Nikon PZ1000 or whatever it is, if you want an all-in-one wildlife camera, that's probably the one.
Do it, yeah.
Nina, thanks guys. Great podcast. For that,
Yeah.
you get an entry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Miss Surge.
Yeah, that's all right.
Hey guys, got a question. I've invested quite a bit of dollars into my gear over the years, EF lenses, yeah, and recently got a Canon R5 body with EOS R. Oh yeah, the control ring adapter. Should I just sell the EF mount lenses?
What's the control ring? Is that like
I'm
the adapter to?
Well, I'm assuming, so with EOS R control ring, I'm assuming, yeah, that it's the control ring adapter. So basically you can throw EF lenses on your mirrorless bodies, and the control ring just gives you the ability to
You can change it. You can like yours. You can.
Yeah, you can set it to aperture or white balance. I've got mine for white balance on video, which I really like. Set it to ISO or whatever. It's a great thing, and it comes on all the RF mount lenses. Like, should I just sell the EF mount lenses? Look, Serge, if you can afford it, the RF lenses are awesome. And the other thing is, I think we're going to start to see a decline in price on the DSLR lenses secondhand as more and more people change over. More and more of them come onto the used market, and less people are looking to buy them, which drives the prices down. So the sooner you make the jump, in my opinion, on one side, you know, you'll get more money for your lenses secondhand, but on the other side, there's a good chance it will. By being early adopters into the tech, you're probably going to pay more for the lenses. And over the years, the RF lenses, there'll be third-party options, there'll be cheaper options, and maybe you wouldn't have to spend as much. So there's, you know, potential both ways there. But I was very happy. I tried to assemble this half kit at the start, and I think it only lasted like 2 or 3 weeks. And I sold all the EF lenses and just went full RF, and they're so good. And like we were saying, you can consolidate the kit a bit because of the newer lenses. You might get away with less lenses.
Probably depends as well. Like if there's a lens in that kit, like in the EF kit, that is kind of doesn't cross over. There's no equivalent.
Yeah, well, there's still not a 35 1.4. There's not, like, they haven't even brought that out yet. So,
and that's where like I'm at with a lot of my lenses and lens choices, that there isn't kind of an equivalent in the Nikon stuff that makes me want to jump over. So I'm still,
All right, we're 58 minutes in, and we will draw this prize at 60 minutes. So last chance for questions.
2 more minutes.
2 more minutes. And Paul Henderson says, I've got the R7 with the RF 100 to 400. Oh yeah, so it's the crop sensor with the RF 100 to 400. And it's amazing good and light. It would be too. So there's a 100 to 400 lens that I think is only about $1,200 or something. Yeah. And yeah, that would give you like 150 to 600 focal range.
Was it like an f4 to 5.6 or something?
It's probably like 4.5 to 7 or something like that. But yeah, so it's not going to be great in low light, but yeah, that's a super lightweight. Yeah.
Hey,
Lauren O'Brien, so sorry, kids are a bag of rats and didn't get on until now. Do you have any questions? There's still time to enter the competition.
1 minute.
It's not like we've ever been on time anyway. So for a few minutes over, I feel like that'd be on brand for us.
This is true. I actually had a couple of news things we were going to go over, but I don't know, it might have run out.
This has been good though. I love the questions.
Great. It's awesome. Serge, thanks for your advice. Much appreciated. That's exactly my concern, was the EF lenses will lose value soon. I really think they will. I think you're already seeing it in certain models. There's some you know, like for example, the 35 1.4 Mark II, that's still the most current lens. There is no updated one in the RF system. There's only the 1.8, so that's probably still holding its money well. But like the 50 1.2 EF, they're all sort of selling for $1,000. I think I've seen them for under $1,000. And it's still a great lens, but the new RF 1.2, even at $3,500, people are just loving it. So they're all jumping across. Professional people are all jumping across, and there's more and more of those 50s. The only thing does mean is like if you were, you know, if you're on a budget and you're not shooting video, or if you're happy to use adapters, like you can pick up some bargains, like the Canon 135 f2 prime lens.
You don't have to jump across. It's definitely it's not. You're not going to not be able to shoot or not run a business. Like I still use a DSLR, and I think my work's current enough. It's not holding me back in any way.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'm running out of battery.
Oh,
hold the phone.
All right.
Oh no.
I'll jump in. So Lauren has asked, she's pivoting on maternity leave and starting a whole new gig. Slightly terrified. Don't be terrified. It's fun.
To do it.
Yeah, it's fun. You got time to do it. Any advice? Well, you've now got someone that's going to need a lot of photos. So I would just practice as much as possible. Work out like a lot, how light works and all that sort of thing, and work out how you want to shoot. Create a shooting style, and you've got time to test things. And like testing things doesn't even have to be on anything interesting. You could test things on a rubbish bin in your backyard if you were trying a new lighting technique, or shooting in the rain or something like that. Like you don't have to necessarily test things with the perfect subject. It's just about
and try and find a community if you can too, whether it's online or in person. Anyone that you know that's also a photographer. Connect with them and try and shoot, learn things, help each other. That's super important.
Maybe we should start a Facebook group.
Maybe we should.
A community.
Cool. Yeah, I like that.
Maybe we will. You guys get on it. I do the podcast. You do the group.
All right.
If you're shooting mirrorless now, are you finding a big advantage for weddings by viewing shots in monochrome through the EVF rather than guessing the outcome until post? Do you mean viewing monochrome as in black and white, putting a picture style on there? I do that sometimes. I love it. But
you do like that.
If you just mean just viewing the exact image as it's going to be shot, I find it definitely, I get my exposures closer because you're seeing exactly what you get. So I do find it an advantage for post-processing and things. You're definitely much closer to the final outcome in camera. I wouldn't say...
Maybe for an amateur like you.
Oh, ouch. Ouch. I taught you everything you know. I wouldn't say it's the game. I wouldn't say it's the game changer. For weddings, autofocus is a bigger advantage than that. I wouldn't say it's that big of an advantage that it's critical. I had no problems really exposing DSLR. It was just a little bit easier with mirrorless, but the big advantage is in body stabilization, for video focus, for shooting stills of weddings. For autofocus is just awesome.
I think as well, take advantage of your camera. Before I started working as a photographer, just when I was learning, I shot manual, started working, and it was a lot to try and work out exposure, focus, subject, all that sort of thing. So I actually shot for a lot of years using aperture priority. So I could control my aperture, I can control my shutter speed that I needed by using my ISO. But it left me in between shots, not having to go, the light slightly changed. I need to adjust my shutter speed. Or everything, so that so you can use things like that to help you out and make it a little bit easier, so that you can work on composing your images better. And
when I was in Japan, I done aperture most of it.
Aperture priority.
Yeah, just mainly just the street photography because everything's happening so quick, you just quickly want to whip around and quickly take a photo and make sure it's exposed right. And with aperture, then you can notice like when you're looking through, you're like, all right, my shutter speed's a little bit too low. I need to bump up the ISO.
Yeah.
Good question from Peter's Picks, which is kind of we've been talking about this in in our
every
private
episode,
message thread in every episode. Hi guys, the Canon RF 2.8 lineup is really expensive. I agree. Do you think as an amateur the f4 lineup would be as good an option? It's not as good. If it was as good, it would be the same price.
Yeah. Is it usable? Yes. Can you create great images? Yes. Like, you absolutely do not need 2.8, 1.4 lenses, 1.2 lenses. It does make better images, but like having a lens would be better than not having one because.
Yeah, in my opinion, I've had at Jim, I've had the f4. Like I've had going back in DSLR days, I had the f4 7200 because it was half the weight. I used that for some snowboarding stuff and used it on a heap of weddings. So we
shot side by side, and I had the 2.8, and we couldn't tell the difference ever.
No, and you'll find if you're talking about if you don't need the light gathering critically, so it's not a super dark venue or something like that. The depth of field difference between f4 and 2.8 is really hard to tell at 200 mil. Like most people aren't going to see it. You might be able to go back and forth and be like, oh yeah, I see it, but that clients are never ever going to know. And the f4s, especially in the RF Canon stuff, the RF 7200 particularly is awesome. I've got the 20. I want the 7200, but I've already got the 2.8, so I can't justify having both of them. But it's so small and light.
Even smaller than the 2.8.
Yeah, it's 600 grams. It's like
I looked it up the other day.
600 or 700 grams. It's tiny. I want one. But the 24-105 is super sharp, awesome lens the whole way through. My recommendation for I wouldn't say it's a budget kit, but if you're not going to just buy 2.8, everything in the RF range, 24-105, 50mm 1.8, which is like $300, 16mm 2.8, which is like $450, I think, in Australian dollars.
Yeah,
that kit will get you, because basically you've got the wide at 2.8, perfect. 24-105 across the whole range at f4, still going to give you great shots, really sharp, not great in low light, even in a wedding or something like that. If you get in a dark venue, then bust out the 50mm 1.8, off you go. That would be a great all-round kit that's not going to break the bank compared to buying the 16-35 2.8, the 24-70 2.8. They're all like $3.5, $4 grand a pop.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Expensive.
Yeah. Better put.
Look, this last question's for you, Grant.
Peter.
This is the last question before the draw, is it?
Yeah, it has to be. What is your take on AI creeping into photography? I've got an article up here in a minute, but yeah, you go, Grant.
Did you guys see that latest one?
I'll bring it up. I did.
Which one was that?
Yeah. Oh, you haven't seen it, Grant? You love this stuff. How have you missed this one?
I hate it. Is this another one that they won?
This is
So AI art piece wins Sony's photography contest. It was the World Photography Organization's Sony World Photography Awards, which is very global. And Boris and his AI generated piece actually won without anyone knowing that it was AI. That's the photo. And he said similar to the other guy, that it was the other comp that we discussed 3 or 4 episodes ago, the DigiDirect one, that it was kind of an experiment. He wanted to bring light to AI image making. I think he actually said, I don't call it photography because it's not, it's something different, but I wanted to call attention to it. And he refused the prize, which is cool.
Well, that's good.
Like he didn't take the prize. I think it was so that side of it's good. On the other side of it, entering at all seems like a bit of a trying to get notoriety and stuff by and I don't know. Yeah, but still, what I think that is very cool is the AI tech that's creeping into photography. As much as it, it's making editing easy. The stuff that's coming up in Lightroom and that kind of thing, it's going to blend into. Can you just bring your wedding photography into Lightroom and just AI insert a sunset, rain, night sky photo that would never have ever been possible, and people are going to believe it's real? That's going to get weird. Maybe that's what people want. I mean, it is just automated Photoshop. Like I put a transformer in the back of a wedding photo as a special request. I need to dig that out.
What if we bring up the 2000s and we start having people running away from dinosaurs again?
Yeah, exactly. But instead, you'll just be able to type into Lightroom, put a dinosaur in the background of this photo, and it'll do it. So that's going to get dangerous. The art side of it will certainly become its own thing. I think that'll pretty quickly steer away from. Photography. It's going to stop being in awards, and it'll certainly become its own thing, and maybe it'll become better. But the one thing that's never going to get replaced with photography is you're not going to get AI sports photographers. You can't artificially intelligence generate the winning grand final goal kick. You're not going to get AI wedding photography unless it's to put a transformer or a dinosaur in the background. Because you can't generate the day and people's emotions. So
and the memories there,
it's weird, and we talk about it almost every podcast because it just seems to keep popping up at the moment. So it's an interesting topic, and I don't know, I just hate when people call it AI photography, because it's not photography, it's image making or something different. Yeah, I agree. World photography. It's very global. The World Photography Organization's Sony World Photography Award.
That's very worldwide.
Very worldly. Anyways, too many ads on that website. Let's draw this prize while there's still anybody watching. Yeah. Okay. Do one of you guys want to draw it, or should I do it?
Can I shake it?
You shake it. Hang on. All right. The winner.
You gotta do it up here so we can see.
Yeah, in case I'm cheating.
Yeah.
The winner of the $200 Lucky Straps voucher donated by me. These guys donate. What are you guys donating?
I'm selling a camera if someone wants to buy that.
Oh, you're gonna give away your D780 on the podcast?
Yeah.
Live.
Give it away for 2,000 Australian dollars.
All right. The winner of the $200 Australian dollar Lucky Camera Straps voucher is
not US dollars.
Lee's. Oh, hang on. Lee's Lens.
Lee's
Lens. If you're still watching, you are the winner.
Good job, Lee's Lens.
You are the winner. To claim your prize,
get in contact.
DM Lucky Straps on Instagram, or reply to the email that I sent out today, and then I'll figure out some way to verify that whoever has emailed me is actually Lee's Lens, because any of you in the chat could pretend you're Lee's Lens.
Maybe I'll do it. Get
no
free stuff.
But yeah, you are the winner, Lee's Lens. Congratulations.
So, just to go back, Lee's wants to know about the Tamron Nikon Z.
And we weren't able to. We had no answers.
Good answer.
We had no. I'm
Maybe
sorry,
that's
at least this is the consolation prizes. You get a camera strap, so that's nice. But yeah, you guys have all been awesome. Feel free to ask any more questions. We might chat about some more gear things that I wanted to tell these guys about.
Thank you, Melissa. Thanks for jumping in. We actually really appreciate that there was so many questions. It made this super fun for us. So
it was great fun.
Really good.
Can't wait till the next one. Get some more. Maybe we'll do some themed shows.
Yes.
Wonder what. And I've got some guests coming on in the next few weeks too.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah, I've been reaching out to people behind you guys' backs.
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel that knife.
Secret squirrel stuff. No, I can't say anything just yet. But yeah, next couple of weeks, a few fun guests. Cool. It's going to be cool. But
what color light should I get for my background?
You can't have a light.
Why not?
Because Grant and I already have the lights.
Well, Grant didn't have one the other week.
Very dark.
You know what's cool about my
It's
light?
normally a lot brighter. I think it's because I think it's winter now.
Mine can change. Ah.
It's a clap, Justin. Remember, like Japan, it's clap lights.
Clap for me again. No, it's broken.
No.
There we go. It's just had a bit of a delay.
Mine changes. It's just on my phone, but I'm currently streaming through that.
Thanks, Claire. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
Thanks for your time.
Claire. Thanks, Sergey. Serge.
Search.
Oh, Paul.
Paul should do it.
Oh.
Oh, you clicked. Oh no, we've got some. Stop clicking.
Oh, what's
Hang
going
on.
on?
There we go. Should do a photo walk in Central Vic. We definitely should.
Yeah, we've been talking. We've
Hey,
talked about this for years about doing like a lucky night walk, like around Bendigo or something. So
Yes.
maybe we need to
We
make
should-
it happen.
we should do that. You know, the other thing that I've been experimenting with, I'm not ready to unveil it yet. I have a photography bingo that I'm working on because I thought the three of us could do it as a challenge, but maybe we could do it with a group of people where we get bingo cards with different sort of ideas on them, and you've got to get at least one of the rows of ideas, but it's timed, you know.
So you're like, find a person, take a portrait or something.
No, I'm gonna make it's more vague, so it'll be like one of the themes might be like it might be water, or wet, and so find a photo that to you is that, you can interpret it however you want, but if we see your photo later and we're like, dude, it's got nothing to do with it. It's a stretch. That was my plan. But yeah, we should definitely do a photo walk. Will you email or remind us for your next podcast? If you go to YouTube and click the there's a subscribe button, but there's also like a notification bell for the whole channel.
Yeah.
If you click the notification bell, every time we go live, it'll tell you. And I'll also start putting upcoming episodes on the channel sort of earlier, so you can see when they're going to be scheduled, because the interviews might be at different times, whereas this one will hopefully be at the same time every week. So, and we'll just sort of wing it from there. But I also will probably set up a separate email list, because I don't know if I'll email the Lucky Straps list every podcast, but I'll certainly do a few of them, especially while we're getting it up and running. So, Serge, I'll come to Melbourne for that. Yeah, we definitely should do some walks. Plus, we want to do that trip to Bright to take in all of its
let's do
autumn glory in the next.
We need to get that booked in.
Yes.
ASAP.
I think I don't want green. I think
Early May. That's the time.
purple.
Well, it's almost early May, Grant.
I know.
Need to get that sorted.
What was I going to show you guys?
Some gear.
Yeah.
There's been I've been seeing more Z8 rumors.
There are definitely a lot of rumors. Please use your social media more. Which ones?
Which
All of
ones?
us?
Because actually, other than Grant uses his a lot. Justin and I both suck on basically every account that we have control of.
I'm not a good social media, or even for Lucky, we struggle to post as much as we should. But for my own work, I'm terrible. I'm always delivering stuff to Flow and things, and I very rarely put it on my own.
That's a cool
should
photo.
be.
I should post that, and then never do.
Yeah, and even all the videos. Oh yeah, Lucky Straps.
Lucky Straps.
We're working on it. We are working on it. You'll see it ramp up a bit now. Taking more photos of the cool straps that we're creating for people.
Any collabs happening, or
no, nothing lined up. Oh, my marketing makes you sad. Do you want to? Are you available? Would you like to join the team?
Yeah.
I need someone.
Lauren at Lucky Straps.
yeah, it's got a ring to it, and she's got on maternity leave.
Need to use the scheduler. Yeah, we probably do.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, no, we look. Yeah,
We need to allocate time to post regularly, and I think just slotting it in would actually just make us do it.
Yeah. Yes. Just made a hire.
You're hired.
Join the team. You're on. Did you guys see this?
I have no.
The M11 monochrome. So it's the black and white only M11. Do you know the Leica M series? You familiar?
Yeah,
Rangefinder, manual lenses. Everyone loves them.
How much is that?
I haven't even looked. I'm guessing it's somewhere between 10 and 15 grand. And
It'd be something stupid.
black and white only. Obviously, it's probably.
You say it was stupid, Grant.
It will be something stupid, like stupid
Oh.
bronze.
But yeah, it's
Oh,
It's-
hang on. Can we go back?
no, that's them shooting with the camera.
I
That's
know,
not
but
they're not black
that
and
is-
white.
That's just.
It's odd they're not black and white
Yeah,
photos.
yeah,
Yeah,
seriously.
you're right. But here's one. I don't know if that particular photo is good enough for me to buy a $15,000
No.
black and white only camera. But look, it's 60 megapixel. Like it's the M11, but specifically black and white. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. Yeah, that's how they do crops and stuff as well. 2 or 3 kidneys. Yeah. Probably not my kidneys. I don't think I could even get a Q2 for my kidneys. Yeah, it's
Malmesbury.
oh,
Sorry.
interesting.
In Malmesbury. There's not that many streets.
I was going to say it's just the one.
Yeah.
There's only one street.
They've got that cool botanical garden right near the
do.
viaduct.
Mm. Yeah,
cool.
and like we said before, there's always something interesting.
They get Southern Lights there too.
Oh, yeah. Interesting. I really want to photograph the Northern Lights. It's a dream.
Yeah.
So M11 monochrome, amazing camera. I'd probably still get the M11 regular because if I was going to spend that much money, I'd probably want to be able to shoot in color too. But I would really like to see images from this and see what they're like, compared to say if I shot them on the R5 next to it and convert it into black and white and see what it's like. But check this out. The Pentax K32 monochrome was also announced this week.
Is that AI generated?
That is a real camera, unless they were late to April Fools. But this is the real camera. They actually, so Pentax K3. It's like a super popular, but kind of it's like they're fully committed to DSLR, still crop. They still sell them, and they've sort of got a cult following of users. One of the
Why?
One of the awesome, what a funny story. One of the awesome Australia Post guys that picks up our camera straps and delivers them to all of you wonderful people. He has Pentax K3 cameras. He's got like 3 or 4 of our camera straps.
Yeah,
loves Pentax, loves our camera straps, and he was telling me last week. He's like, I dream about this Leica monochrome camera that I played with in Perth. It must have been the M10 because the M11 wouldn't have been out yet. Yeah. And he said that's his dream camera is the Leica monochrome. But he didn't know this was out. I can't wait to talk to him again because this is his dream camera because it's in his Pentax system. But he wants a monochrome camera because he said it just looked so different. He loved the idea of only black and white. So... Okay. Super weird, interesting. No other brands have done it. So,
what's the difference between shooting that and then just switching
before I go into that, Andrew, thank you. Enjoy your whiskey. We'll catch you on the next one. Not having to have this is my ill-informed version of it. I need to do more digging, but. Not having the filter that splits the light into red, green, and blue, I think, in separate colors, allows there to be a sharper image across all ISO ranges when it's black and white over. So black and white only. So basically, you're just recording light levels, and you're not having to split it and record color values. So it allows you to have better detail, cleaner, crisper image, less in the way. It's more, there's less for the camera to do to create the final image. So, I mean, look, it'd be cool. I mean, at least their photos look cool.
Yeah, look, to be fair, their photos are cooler than what was on the Leica page.
I wasn't going to say it. I wasn't going to say it, but Pentax did it. Look at that.
Yeah. Their photos are much better.
Well, there was only one on the Leica page.
Yeah, well,
over the back of a hat.
Yeah, it wasn't great. Maybe there's
probably buy 10 of them.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. What else was interesting that's happened recently? Oh, the Canon just announced the 100 to 300 2.8. so instead of 300, I think they're kind of like, instead of a 300 2.8 prime for the RF mount, they're committing to like 100 to 300 instead.
That's sick.
Yeah, I think sports photographers are going to love it. Sigma used to have a 120 to 300 2.8, but it was pretty big. This looks pretty big too, really, but it was pretty big. I don't think it was as sharp. You know, it was a bit of a compromise. People still preferred the big white 300 2.8 over the Sigma with the flexibility. But yeah, this is going to be, you know, if you're shooting like...
That's awesome. That gets me excited.
What are you going to do with it?
I don't know, but I like
Look at it.
Everyone needs a 300 2.8 and then
I know, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's tax deductible. Shoot weddings with that. I'd shoot weddings with that. That'd be cool.
Even the car.
Yeah.
Let me stay. Yeah.
High level shooters and videographers.
Awesome lens.
Particularly those working in low light and seeking hand-holdable solutions. This lens provides the total answer. Yeah, pretty amazing.
And an R3 is that's gonna be
it's only $9.5 US bargain.
Oh yeah. So it's at like
35 Australian.
Yeah.
Bargain.
Yeah.
The other thing, it's been a week of gear with NAB on. DJI Inspire 3. Once again, something that is
like 30 grand, aren't they?
25 starting from bargain. Australian.
Or American. Oh, yeah.
No, Australian.
American, US dollars. Sorry.
These 8K at 75 frames a second. Full frame. It's a full frame camera.
Yeah. Okay.
Like it's.
So it's big.
It's big. Oh yeah. There's no. This is not a. This is a professional.
Yeah. Look at those carbon
piece of
arms.
equipment. Yeah. Well, wait. This is all. Look at it. Amazing. I want one.
Yeah.
Grant, I'm going to buy one. Grant's going to pilot it, and I'll operate the gimbal. That was our plan. But let me get down to the. I just love, and I know the old one used to be able to do this, but so. In this mode, tilt boost, it can shoot up.
Yeah, that's cool.
At 80 degrees.
Wow. Yeah.
And then in this mode, you can 360 pan with the legs not getting in the way. So the pilot, so there's an FPV camera on the front for the pilot. Let's find some thingies.
Oh yeah, there it was.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's it
yeah.
there, isn't it?
Oh, no, that's the RTK positioning thingy. But yeah, that's the FPV. Yeah. But there's a picture of it somewhere of what you can see. There's so many things. It's full on pro.
Yeah, it looks insane.
They'll be shooting movies with it and stuff. But I still, it just makes me want to be a drone operator. I dreamed about it. I even had one of those old, when they used to strap cameras to the actual petrol helicopters. You know, the petrol, remote control helicopters that were really hard to fly. Yeah, I had one of those helicopters and I just crashed it.
You do the same thing with your drone.
So this is the camera at 1080, 60 FPS, so it's like this. So that's the new one. So you can see that as a pilot straight out the front. And then the camera operator, or you can operate the camera too, can be just doing their thing, and you're essentially just flying the FPV drone. So cool.
Yeah, that'll be insanely good.
We need it.
Yep. Oh, let's get the podcast big enough and we can get one.
Get one. Yeah, definitely need it. What's cool to me is obviously it's a long way away. Yeah, because it's the DL mount. Because they've got these crazy gimbal cameras, that you can run around with. It's basically like a handheld drone camera and all this stuff's getting used on feature films. It's pretty amazing. But the tech slowly filters down. It wasn't that long ago that the Inspire was similar quality to what a Mavic 3 is now. Maybe not similar, but actually not that far off. So, how long until we've got a full frame camera in a $3,000 drone?
Yeah.
That you can fold up the legs, Will that ever happen?
Definitely wouldn't say it won't.
But yes. See, Grant, this would be me and this would be you. We could even have the headsets.
Yeah, cool. Pretty
Do you
easy.
remember when we were going to get headsets, Justin, for wedding, so we could talk to each other?
No, you
We
No, we
did.
weren't,
We
'cause-
did.
No,
we did
we-
talk about it.
For ages, because we were like, because then we could just be like, you know, are you going to get the tight shot?
Yeah, instead of
And
having
not
to
have
kind
be
of,
like do
Uh-oh.
sign language that we don't know actually how to.
because there were some
Spy Kids.
Yeah,
there were some venues where it was very hard to get to each other, so it was just easier to kind of, I just thought we could be secret squirrels and be like, Jim, I'm gonna get a shot from behind the altar, out. Now, did you see this?
yes,
old?
I did see that.
You did? Did you read the messages? Woman
no.
demands refund from wedding photographer because she's
actually, I
now
think I did
divorced. Yeah, check it out. So this is the photographer. I swear my life is a movie. You can't make this stuff up. Hi Romeo, how are you? I don't know if you still remember me. You did a photo shoot for me at my wedding in Durban in 2019, which is in South Africa. Hey, smiley face. I'm okay, thank you. Trust you're well. Yes, I remember. How may I be of service? He's so like polite.
What a good guy.
What a good guy. Well, I'm now divorced, and those pictures, I and my ex-husband don't need them anymore. You did a wonderful job on them, but they went to waste as we are now divorced, and I'll need a refund of the amount of money we paid you because we don't need them anymore. Pardon me? This has to be a joke,
wow.
right? Hang on. And then he thought he was being pranked, but he was like, "No, you will not be getting a refund." And she was like, "You'll be hearing from my lawyer. I've forwarded everything sharp," which is weird but funny. Yeah.
4 years later, too.
Yeah. And then
It's
she's
not even
like,
like he hadn't delivered them or something.
"Where are you?" "I'm in Joburg. Can we meet and discuss the issue way forward?" "No." "Tell your lawyer to call me."
I love how unprofessional it got.
I know. It's so great. And then he posted it all on social media. Yeah. Weird stuff happens.
That's
I
good.
just love how lovely and professional he was at the start.
Yeah.
Like, how may I be of service? Like, anything. What do you need? Right. I refuse to believe this. That is real. Look, I don't know. I did my due diligence and read 2 articles on it. They both said the same thing. It could definitely be fake, but it was funny. But I'm gonna.
His business will like boom because of that. I reckon. Like he'll get a lot of.
Maybe it was a stunt. Yeah.
It is strange things do happen. I did get once a customer who emailed me. They left a 1-star review because their camera didn't arrive. Because in the pictures of the camera strap, there was a camera showing the camera strap, and they said they thought they were buying a Nikon Z6 with lens for $149. So
That's right.
You'll sell one out.
and I obviously refunded them because I don't want anyone to be unhappy or whatever. But yeah, people make mistakes and get confused and ask for refunds for strange things. So maybe she thought that every divorce, got a refund.
Now,
You'd have to
11
double your
people on this
prices with
podcast.
50% of people getting divorced.
Yeah, well, you'd have to factor it in. You'd have to
Yeah.
go see an accountant and do your finances and
There's some big maths in that one.
yeah.
So no one here had to ask a question. They could have just, brought a strap and then left a 1-star review saying, "I wanted a camera."
Oh,
also."
he returned the strap.
Oh, did he? Oh,
Yeah, he did. He just
Yeah.
said, "Look, I thought I was getting this," and I was like, "Hey, no problem at all." But yeah, send the strap back. I'll give you a
that's all
refund.
Yeah.
Well, I'll grab one of those. Yeah, it was a bargain. What else did I see? I think that was, I don't know. Did you guys see anything fun stuff this week?
No, that was about the AI thing was the thing that I saw and just the
I've been way
Z8
too
stuff.
busy.
We should have talked about this before. Lonely Redditors duped into paying for nude pics of AI generated women. I'm guessing that's on OnlyFans or something. So that happens. So AI
That is a great
is coming.
idea.
It's a great
That is
idea.
no, it is like what a business.
Oh, I
You
guess
could just be
there's-
sitting
They
there.
could pay for the
punching in-
drone.
You could literally just
you
be
could
punching
pay for the
in.
drone. Wouldn't our drone business help pay for the drone?
Yeah, but to
To
get it
pay
off
for the
ground,
drone first. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, that's good business.
We know what Jim's doing now.
Yeah,
Just making AI
abs-
pictures.
Yeah,
selling
why
them on
not?
selling them on Reddit.
Why not? You make bank.
What
Make
does
like
that
a
OF
social
after
media.
Justin and Jim on Instagram mean?
Yes, it
Yes,
was.
hilarious. That was the only other thing I wanted to talk about was so you've been getting hit up by you're trying to sell some gear, Jim, and you've been getting hit up pretty hard by the scammers on Facebook Marketplace, which
they love it.
I also have. So I just wanted to quickly shine the light on secondhand gear. I've bought a lot of secondhand gear and sold a lot of secondhand gear, and it's a good way to legitimately save some money and usually hopefully get what you think it is and it's right and stuff like that. But if you're selling gear, if someone says, I want to pay you and FedEx will pick it up, like FedEx will bring you the money and pick up the item, it's a scam. What they'll do is say, oh, look, because it's such a large amount of cash, FedEx needs to be insured, and you can just pay for the insurance via a link, and they'll email you a link that looks like it's from FedEx, but it's not, and off they go, steal your card details, blah, blah, blah. So don't do that. If they say they want to pay with Pay ID, also don't do that.
Yeah. Or if their brother's going to pick it up.
You can pay with Pay ID though.
Oh,
Actual
no,
Pay ID is safe.
but I haven't encountered anyone that sorry, they want someone else to pick it up, and because of that it needs to be with Pay ID. If that person comes to look at the camera and says, I'll transfer it to you using Pay ID, completely different story. You know, if they're there and it's all happening or whatever, or if they want to pay with Pay ID and then they just pay you, that's fine. But if they say Pay ID because it's such a large amount, they need to verify your identity, and they'll send you an email from Pay ID, that's a scam. So just watch out.
Careful.
Can you help me with if these are scams? Because
hey, can you bring it up on screen or something? Let's do it. Just hold your phone up in front. Let's see.
No, my phone's
Lauren, I bought a secondhand camera from a dude in Melbourne. Funniest experience of my life. Why was he weird? What happened? Tell us the story.
Well, I just sold my 105 lens.
If anyone's still watching, tell us how crazy would it be? What do you guys think if I got the equipment to make this a live call-in show? Would anyone call in? How good would that be? Imagine if Lauren could call and tell us the story about the secondhand camera guy. I think I should. I don't think it would be that expensive. Photographer friend suggested this particular item, Olympus OMD EM1. He thought I was a scammer because it was such an old camera and I needed it shipped to me in New South Wales. Look, I guess some people are over cautious on the scammers. I don't know, but do it, mate. All right, I'll do it. You've convinced me. I know because the Rode. Oh, that was more stuff. Got Rode announced stuff. So Rode make a Procaster for podcasters, and they're just doing a smaller one called the Procaster Duo. And I think I'm going to buy it because I don't need 4 mic inputs because we're doing this all remotely, and it can Bluetooth to a phone.
Ooh.
So I can put my phone number up. Maybe I'll have to get a different phone number. I think I'll get a different phone number.
Burner phone.
Okay, I can get a burner phone, and then it Bluetooths to the Procaster. And when people ring, it literally just rings, and we answer it. Yeah?
Yeah. Does that mean we can all be together and do it?
Yeah, it would be this. So right now, Serge could just ring us, and we would hear it ringing, and I would press answer, cool. And we would talk to him.
That's awesome. Yeah, we need that. We need that.
I think we need it.
We need it.
I hear a huge blurb of how I was on maternity leave. Needed this to shoot in gyms. I scared him, paid him. He sent it. So you bullied him into accepting the deal, even though you thought you were a scammer. Great work. Great work. I mean, if you need it, you need it. You got to get it done. It is weird because I have bought and sold a lot of stuff where it was, sight unseen and just trust in both directions. And it's hard to establish that trust. I mean, it has been easier for me because of we had Justin and Jim as a business, and I had Lucky Straps as a business. And if I was buying and selling camera gear, I could basically point to people and say, hey, like, look at the About Us page on Lucky Straps. Look at Justin and Jim. There's pictures of me all over both of them. I'm a real person. Like, I'm not going anywhere. And this is a real item. I can send you a video of me chatting about it. Like, it's sort of easy to build that trust. But yeah, if no one wants to build the trust on the other side, then there's a good chance maybe they're trying to be dodgy. So I was in analysis paralysis and outsourced to my pro friend who said, buy this. It's a good deal. So is that what you're still shooting with? We're all silently waiting for the answer. So she might take a while to reply.
So my scam, you guys need to help me with this.
Oh yeah, tell us about your scam.
So I won't bring it up on the screen because there's like other chats and it's probably like there's emails and stuff that probably doesn't need to be on here.
I see. You don't want to go into Jim's DMs. Who knows what we'll find?
No. So like this person wants to buy it, and they've negotiated slightly on price, which is like I guess everyone does that, which is good. But he says he lives in Sydney. He's currently out of state, but he wants to ship it to his stepson overseas for his birthday. But he's willing to cover the shipping costs. Wants to pay through PayPal. That's a pay ID. Oh, it's same. So that PayPal scam is the same as the Pay ID scam. So, and then you'll get a spoofed email that looks like PayPal, and you'll put your credit card details in it, and blah blah blah. Or they do like a refund trick, and they make it look like you've paid too much and you need a refund or something like that. Yeah. Okay. So what about? So that's probably a scam.
Okay. It is.
Yeah. So
here's the answer. No, Jim. No.
So
no.
What about this other one? This one seems legit.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say no, but tell us anyway.
All right. So, offered a price slightly lower, which was good. Does want to pay through PayPal, but just wants to send it. I don't know where he wants to send it. I think he's in Australia. He says, "Is this item still available?" I said, "Yes, it is."
Oh,
said, what's your last price, mate?
Usually
he
when
said,
it
mate,
starts,
though.
Oh, that's good. But usually when it starts with "Is it still available?" I'm like, "Oh, this isn't a good sign." Because if I message someone about a bit of gear, especially if it's like legit gear, I will say, "Hey, interested in your 51.2? I'm from Bendigo, so I'd have to get it posted. Can you tell me blah, blah, blah?" And then they know that I'm like, that it's real. Like it's anyway. So go on. Okay. Tell me.
So hang on, let's move it over so I can see both screens. And then he said, "Can you post it tomorrow?" And I said, "I can't. I'm out of town for work, but I can post it Friday." He said, "Friday's fine, mate. What's your PayPal email?" I sent him that. He sent me an email. No, he sent me an email and said, so he sent me an email. And where is it?
But why PayPal?
Some people just prefer, like, it's a sort of a safer payment method for some people because they can try and do like a PayPal dispute if they don't get the item and stuff like that. But it costs money. Costs
there's a bit
of money.
So there is. So he has, and they sent me an email and said, "Can you just confirm that this is a correct PayPal email address for the picture attached?" So I think that. So say if I was dodgy, he had like an email chain of me saying that was the correct thing. I think. So this one maybe isn't dodgy, and he said it's getting sent to New South Wales, not to the USA.
Yeah. Look, I would. I mean, you can always just say,
can you ask for his phone number? And
I was going to say, just jump on the phone for 5 minutes and say, "Hey, just wanted to make sure you're a real person and stuff." But always, I mean, at the end of the day, if it's, you've just got to be careful that the website, that everything you're doing is legit, because the only thing they can do to you is give you a link that is that looks like PayPal, but it's not, and then you somehow end up entering details in it. That's usually the biggest risk. I mean, they could try and do other stuff, but that's usually the biggest risk. So make sure everything's done through something that you're not clicking a link on. You go to PayPal, you type
go to my
URL
PayPal.
You log in, you get in there, and you send a request or however you're going to do it. And if you get paid, then send him the thing. If you don't get paid, don't do it. If he says, "Oh, I couldn't pay, so can you just do this or that or whatever," only do it if it makes sense, and question everything.
Yeah.
This is a straight up swap my Pentax 6.7 for a Hasselblad with a random dude on Facebook photography group, and it actually wasn't a scam. I would not suggest that for everyone though. So did you do it? Did you do it in person? Which is, I mean, that's okay as long as the person's not a weirdo. But or did you do like a swap, like a mail swap? That's scary. Just like send your Pentax off and just wait and just hope a Hasselblad arrives. It's like, please. But cool. Hey, it worked out. This is the thing. Yeah. There's legit people everywhere. Most people are legit. It's just there's a lot. I mean, when I was trying to sell my DJI, my Air 2S, I think it was in the sweet spot of like tech gear that lots of people might buy. It's not specific camera gear. Lots of people buy drones. It was about that $1,000 price point. I think it was an easy target for him. I think I got that pay ID scam probably 20 times.
Yep.
No.
Oh my God. Mailed it to the US, man. And you're from New Zealand. Oh, we need a live call-in show. Yeah. There's no way I would do that. How did you verify that it was real? Or were you like, if it's, I don't even want this camera anymore. It doesn't matter.
That's crazy.
Wow. That's insane.
That is so cool.
That's cool. Yeah. Impressed. That's, that's insane. Lauren, you shoot content as pics for video clients. DJI Pocket arrived today for TikTok Reels. Are you going to be in the Reels?
Oh, for lucky.
Can you teach us about TikTok? Once you've nailed your reels down, we all need a masterclass. Here we go. They exchanged photos in the DMs. We sent each other photos of the items, and that was about it. It was a different time. They were the best of times.
Yeah.
It was back before all these scammers.
Yeah, back when you could trust people.
Yeah. The good old days.
Actually, I did get one guy jumped in my DMs earlier trying to buy something.
Yes, Lauren. Teach us the ways. Elevate.
I just literally go straight to their Facebook profile, and if they're if it says they're from like Rome, I'm not clicking on it. I just delete it off.
I had this random guy called Grant who he had a legit profile, but he said, "Do you take pay ID? I can't get it, but my brother's partner is in Bendigo tomorrow." I don't know. It seems pretty dodgy to me. I just sent him through my credit card details.
TikTok's for
and he just brought an R5.
You just bought an R5?
No, with your credit card details.
Oh yeah. Sorry, now I'm up to speed.
You know who I want to try and get on? He'll be way too busy. He's big time now. But Jason Morris, he's a cinema guy in Queensland. He's jacked. He's like shredded, enormous. But he did some stuff for Lucky. He bought some Lucky straps. He's been an awesome supporter. But he's sort of grown his cinema business and got really good. Like he's got some pretty high end cameras, and he uses small cameras too. But his YouTube, he started doing like Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts. And he's got 80,000 subscribers on YouTube or something now, and his Instagram has blown up too. Awesome. He crushes real
234. I just looked him up.
234,000 on which. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. Like I reckon he had. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I reckon he had like 10,000 or something when I was talking to him, like when he helped me out with some stuff for Lucky, and awesome guy. But I think he'll probably be too busy now, but I'd love to get him on the podcast and be like I think he works hard. Like every shoot that he does is making reels of him doing the shoot. And then he's also like doing like reels of gear unboxing and mini reviews and all that stuff like every day. He is just pumping content out. He is the person that could teach us how to do TikTok or shorts. I want to do shorts. I like YouTube. YouTube's way more fun. Or reels, I guess. But yeah, we'll try and get someone on, right? We'll do our best.
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll make it a live call-in show. Social media is so underrated. Hey, it's free advertising if you could do it right. Exactly, just like a podcast.
Yeah. We if only we did do social media well.
Well, this is one thing that I've been in the game for a little while now. Lucky's been doing the social media advertising thing for a long time. And what I've figured out for me being a small business owner is I want to do more marketing through channels that I spend time on and enjoy. And at the moment, I don't do as much on Instagram. I'm not as much of an Instagram user at the moment, but I consume YouTube like all day, every day, podcasts all day, every day. So I'm like, I should be marketing in those channels. So that's that's where my head's at. But I do agree. TikTok Reels and Shorts is something that everyone should try and master and see if they like it.
So much time. But if you can do it...
Lucky was a difficult Google for me when I was looking for a strap, to be honest.
Yeah, no, be honest. We want you to be honest. That's
really
good.
We've done
Brutal.
so much. We're on the first page for camera strap in the US. Are you sure? Sure it wasn't Bing? Google? DuckDuckGo or something? Oh, good to know. But yeah, I thought we were doing pretty well on the old Googs. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, glad you found it though.
Yeah. Well, hey, at least you found us.
Yeah, you wouldn't be
here.
here.
And now look at it. Now look at us go. You'll have to jump on the live call and show. I can't wait to get this set up. I was very specific what I wanted. Maybe we didn't have what you wanted. It's like type in a 10-word key phrase or something into Google. Camera strap with pink and purple stitching and this, and yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, I only found it when Canon were doing lucky straps. Yeah, I know. That was cool.
Yeah.
We did
That was
R5
cool.
strap.
And the Canon Collective.
I think I first saw Lucky in a Facebook ad, but have been looking for a big, serious leather straps for a while. Interesting. There's an email in your inbox from when I was searching. I'll have to have a look. I thought, so interesting. This is great.
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah, live call-ins coming on.
Yeah, this has been a good episode. Lots of chats, which is
Lots
awesome.
of chats. To get a bit of a crew going.
Best episode yet?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, here we go.
For sure.
See? Pink stitching embossed. Exactly.
Yeah. That's my bag. Yeah,
That's
well,
my bag. It's got to do
like
it.
I like it.
Exactly. Glad we could help. Glad you found us. I'll put some more work into Google.
Well, maybe like custom leather camera strap isn't. I don't know what Lauren was searching, but maybe
we rank for a fair few of those words. Yeah, we put a bit of work into it, but it definitely could be better. I mean, yeah it is hard with, it's a small business, time stretch between that and shooting and everything. You can't do everything. So thanks. Sorry, we'll stop this now.
No, more
Hey,
comments the better.
More comments.
We love the
Exactly.
comments.
Love the comments. It's been great. I don't know. Do you reckon we should wrap it up? I should probably eat some food.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is about that
Pretty
time.
hungry.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. We are Australian. It is made in Australia. It's
made in
actually
Australia.
also very cool. Lucky straps are made in our hometown where we live.
Yeah, where all three of us live. That's the funny thing.
Yeah.
We're on a remote podcast. We all live within 10 minutes of each other, which is
we do.
a bit funny. But the reason we did that is I wanted to be able to bring guests on. I wanted guests to be able to be from all over the world, and I wanted us to be able to continue the podcast no matter who was where, traveling and that sort of thing. So
makes it a lot easier for us.
We all live in Bendigo, and that's where Lucky Straps are made, which is awesome. Australian was a bonus for me too. Awesome. It's good to hear.
Yeah. Thanks.
My pro friend lives there too.
In Bendigo or Australia? Or Bendigo?
Look, just got my order today. Thanks, guys. Love my new camera strap. Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I've just made a Camera Life group. We'll probably set it up. So yeah, so next episode we'll throw out the link.
Wait, so the group is on the Facebooks.
Facebook, yeah.
Interesting. I love it.
Do you still have a Facebook login, Justin?
I think so. I do. I'll find my way there somehow.
Bendigo. Who's the pro?
Yeah, who's your pro friend? Eagle Hawks, the center of Bendigo. It's the center of just out of Bendigo. Yeah. Bendigo. Cool. Who's your friend, Lauren?
Pro photographer.
Pro photographer.
I'll have to get some Bendigo photographers on, but
We
we need to
will.
get.
There is a
I'm
lot.
excited.
Yeah,
Well,
there's a lot.
so who I'm really keen to get on is Richard Taddy.
Yes.
and he's busy, but he's in about 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone can learn all from the master of night sky photography.
Yes. He is the master.
We'll see you in the DMs.
Yeah, jump in our DMs. We do, just for everyone wondering, we do have an Instagram, the Camera Life Podcast.
That we should post on.
I post on it. You guys should post on it. I post on it.
Well, we don't have a login for it, Justin.
Yeah.
So, that's it. Sorry about that. I'll hook you up. I post on it when we've got an episode. I'm still figuring out sort of the whole plan, but there's going to be a newsletter with each week's episodes from the week before, some sort of thoughts on the state of the photography industry. And newsletter. I'll set up a website at some stage, but I got to focus on just the podcast to start with. And
you could probably get that set up pretty easily.
Yeah, it'd be pretty basic to start with, and I'll probably start putting the episodes on the Lucky website as blog articles as well. I just haven't had a chance to sort of get that dialed in yet as well, but that's the plan. We need to make this a thing.
What about some merch? Can we drop some merch?
Well, look, once we get to 100 subscribers, we'll make some merch, give away a t-shirt or something. But until then, my focus is on. I really want to just get. I want people to be able to jump on this any week and ask any question, and that's why. So we'll get more photographers on as co-hosts, and then do special episodes with guests hopefully at least once a week, as well as this episode. That is my plan. That
I think also too with like the Facebook group, they if they can't get on, they can drop it down like a question, and we can address it or even comment on it.
Yeah, so that we can just build the questions through the week. So if people can't get on live, and then they can hear their answers later on.
Well, actually, and a good point is to that, if you aren't on the Facebook, so Yelena actually jumped in at like 9 o'clock this morning and dropped a question in then. Which
she did. You can put which we didn't even answer. She's probably not listening. We go to here we go. Let's save that for the next episode, because
sorry, Elena,
there's a bit of stuff to talk about with goals. So, but that is a good topic.
Yes, it is. Maybe we can come in with some
what about that one?
Have a bit of a think about it.
Have you ever wanted to throw the camera in and quit photography?
Next week.
I'll quickly answer that. I've never wanted to completely quit photography, but I put in our chat the other day I wonder what photography would be like if I decided I was never ever going to earn money from it again. What gear would I want, and how would I think about it? It was fun to think about. But no, I don't think I'd ever quit photography all up. But potentially quitting paid work.
On Insta.
Oh yeah. I did try that on the Lucky Stories one day, but no one asked any questions except for my sister. So
thanks, Emma.
Sometimes social media doesn't work.
Yeah, we posted it everywhere, and we got no responses. But to be fair, it was like week 2 or 3, and we hadn't launched it yet through the Lucky. What it got launched today. So
I was terrified to email the Lucky list and have everyone. And by everyone, I mean a handful of you amazing people jump on and listen to us, because we are pretty new to this, and I'm terrified of public speaking. So,
well, but you're doing pretty well. Well, you're actually just chatting to us, so you don't really publicly, you can't see anyone else.
Oh, but there's other people listening. That's what's.
Oh, no, they're listening, but you can't see them. That's
the scary part though, because it goes on YouTube forever. So who knows who will listen to it in the future? I don't know. Yes, I know, Lauren, you're right. Post more, you'll pop up in more people's feeds. I know. If you saw our analytics for our organic reach, you'd probably be like, "Oh, that's not good." But I know. We need to work on it. Maybe
need to invest more time.
Maybe
I think I showed Jim. I've got an Instagram for my dog that I just wanted to test out. It was more of a tester. I posted every day for 3 weeks, and it jumped up to I was reaching 80,000 people. Went from 0 to 80,000 in 3 weeks. Just a reel every second day and a post every day, and just stories.
Yeah. is a cute dog though. So
It is a cute dog.
yeah.
Yes, you would cry. You would cry if you saw our analytics. But still, look, our main focus is amazing straps. That's what we do. That's what we put all of our effort into, making sure that the quality of the straps are good, and then we get 5-star reviews, which is wonderful, and that's our main focus. And then from there, we try and put a little bit on the socials.
How many followers?
80K. How many
couldn't tell you.
followers? Yeah, it's crazy.
I think she's on 600, maybe 600, 700. It's probably
So
less.
pretty big.
I think she's got more than my photography page, which is sad.
Grant, can you post a photo of the dog with a lucky strap?
Oh, that'd
can
be
you?
good.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Yeah. What is she on?
This
Actually,
you guys
Justin,
are
do you want some organic reach? You need to post Ted. You need
Sorry,
to
she's
post
only
Ted
on
with a lucky strap.
509.
Yeah, I have posted Ted in the past. He hasn't been featured for a long time. Actually, he doesn't like the camera. Yeah, he doesn't love the camera. But yeah,
If I can get her to sit still, I will do it.
I know, Lauren, and that's why we're doing this podcast.
Yeah.
It's going to be. You'll see. Just give me 10 years, and you'll see. You'll see how big this could be.
In 10 years, we'll be an overnight success.
Thank you
Thanks,
very much. That's very nice. It's nice to hear. We're trying. It's good. Getting there. But it's so much better when we've got people in the chat to chat to.
Yeah, this has been awesome. Thank you to everybody who jumped in, who asked a question. It's been amazing.
Yeah, you're all legends. But we better leave it there because it is 7:30.
And Grant will get very hangry.
Yeah, he's a hungry man. So
Gotta get to the gym in the morning.
Oh,
thank you.
You're committing
Oh,
now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See you there.
I'll see you there. What time?
Alrighty. 6.
6. All right. We'll be a 6 o'clock party for the
See you
Camera
there.
Life podcast.
We'll chat about the episode then. But all of you legends in the chat, thank you. Can't wait
You
till
are legends.
Can't wait till you can call in.
Or we can catch up.
And we'll
Do a
see you
photo
guys.
walk or something.
Yeah, we will. We will do a photo walk, but we will definitely see you next week, next Thursday,
Yes.
5:30.
Let's do it.
Lock it in.
All right.
All right. Good night. Hang on. Thanks.
We're still on. We're still on.
Okay. Officially. Good night. Goodbye.
Oh, you got me.
Not leaving.
I'm not leaving.